Hi, I'm Heather from Arrow, and today I'm going to teach you how to assemble your Kangaroo and Joey cabinet. It'll arrive at your house in 5 separate boxes. The unit does come in white as seen here or antique. Now there's some great features about the Kangaroo. It does come with our little Joey unit, which is just a storage unit that features 3 separate drawers. The bottom drawer is a bit bigger. There is a lock that locks all 3 down, so if you want to keep the kids out of your stuff, that's great to do. It tucks inside the Kangaroo just like a baby Joey would. But you can also buy this unit separately, so if you love this and want to add to it, you can buy more to match any of our Kangaroo cabinets. But when it's pulled out, what's great is you can put this in any position that you want it to be in. Most people like to put it on the side here. There's a drawer here that pulls out. We include a little table here, so if you need more space, obviously, to put your quilt as you're sewing through, it goes there. The cabinet itself does feature an airlift that will support 55 pounds. It's 24 by 12 opening. The front panel here pops off if you've got a knee lifter, so you can use that. And to use the lift, you're going to press down for your arm and then all the way down into storage. It also does come with a cover, so you can make a nice flush surface. There you go. And the quilt leaf does fold down as well. This is your Kangaroo and Joey. The tools you're going to need to assemble your Kangaroo and Joey is an electric screwdriver with a number 2 head. If you don't have that, just a standard Phillips screwdriver again with that number 2 head, a hammer, some WD-40. This is not WD-40, but we can't find our can, so we're faking that this is WD-40. And other than that, that's all that you'll need. One of the things we want to show you that helps assembly go easier is that WD-40. Your cam holes have a little metal inside of them, which is where you're going to put your C1 cam bolts. We do find if you spray either this end or the hole with WD-40, this will screw in much simpler. So that's why you need the WD-40 in this step. So what you want to do is gather your D panel, your Z panel, your X panel, O1, O2, and your A3 panel. In step 1, parts 1 and 2, you are going to get your Z panel and your X panel. You're going to get your C1 cam bolts. They look like this. And you're going to screw them into your Z panel. There are 2 that go in here. Again, they're going to go into those metal fixtures. So there are 2 on the X panel. And that is it for your C1s on those panels. Then you're going to grab your D1 dowel that look like this. And there's some glue that come with this. And on one side, you're just going to glue your dowel and put it into the dowel hole. And you can push them in or you can use a hammer. And we want to show you placement on this before you get crazy with doing this. This is a cam, and notice there's a hole in front of it. Eventually, your cam bolts are going to go inside of here. So when you're putting dowels in, they do not, absolutely do not go on this hole. They go in the hole next to this. So if you see a cam, go straight up and there's going to be the hole for the cams, but this is for your dowels. So for your wood dowels on your panel D, you're going to put 12 in. There's 4 top and bottom, 2 on the sides. On your Z panel, there are 4 as well, 2 at the top, 2 at the bottom. And on your X panel, there's 4, 2 at the top and 2 at the bottom. On step 1, parts 3 and 4, you're going to find your Z panel, and you're going to get your ball catch, and you're going to screw it on with your small S2 screws. They look like this. They're very small, so screw 2 of those on. And you'll notice there's a little catch. This will go on in another piece, but we keep it together. It's metallic, so just keep it in there for now so you have that piece. Move over to your O1 and O2. You're going to get your H2 hinges and your S1 screws, and you're just going to screw these on. And lastly, you're going to get your casters, and you're going to screw these onto the bottom, and you'll use your spanner here that comes with them just to tighten these down, and you're going to put them on the bottom of your O1 and O2 panels. On steps 5 and 6, you're going to get your O1 and O2 panels, and I'm going to show you here. You just got to flip them over from where we did the hinges. And you're going to put on, with your S2 screws, you're going to put the magnet catch plate on, so just screw those in at the top. Then in step 6, you're going to take your S5 and you've got to screw this on. So it comes like this, and just screw it all the way down on both of these units. Step 1, the last step, step 7, you're going to get your A3 panel, and you're going to collect your pins in P1 and P2. The P1 will go in the front where there is the curve on both sides, and the P2 go in the back where there is a square, essentially square edge. And you can just either put these in with your thumb or hammer them in with your hammer. Step 2, you want to collect your A1 board, your Y board, your small O board, your large A board, your L and your K. And you also want to grab your C1 cam bolts. And on step 1, you're going to take your A board and screw into this board 10 times. So 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and then 4 on the bottom. Remember, it's going into the metal fitting, and again, if you squirt a little WD-40 in, it'll help that go in. Then also on your L board, you're going to screw 4 of them in. On part 2, you're going to get your D1 dowels and your O board and your Y board, and again your wood glue. So as you can see, we glued them in, only glue them on one side. Again, remember your cam is here. That hole is going to be used for the cam bolt later, so do not go into that hole. On O, it's just the 2, and on Y, 2 up here and 2 on the bottom. On step 2, part 3 and 4, you're going to find your H2 hinges, and you're going to screw them on using your S1 screws. So you can see there are 4 hinges here, and each with 3, so you're going to use 12 of those hinges. Next, you're going to find your M magnets using those same screws. Screw them on in the pre-drilled holes, and what you want to notice is the way the magnet is going to be facing out, not inward, but facing out. For step 2, step 5, you're going to get your Y panel, and you're going to find your B3 ball catch and your S2 screws, and you're going to screw that on. The opposite side of that is going to be panel K, and using those same S2 screws, you're going to attach the catch on both sides of panel K. And then finally, on panel L, you're going to flip it over and use the H1 handles using the B2 screw that comes with it to attach it. On step 3, you're going to gather your Z panel and your Y panel, and you're going to get your lifter rails, the metal pieces out of the lifter box. And on the right side is going to go on your Z panel, and notice placement here. So your ball catch is here. So the screw side is facing that, the plastic is facing the other side, and placement wise, notice there's a little hook up here. The hook will be at the top of the panel. The left rail on this one, the curve here has the flat side, and again notice the hook is up at the top of the panel here. And to attach this, you're just going to attach it using your S1 screws. There are 3 pre-drilled screw holes on both panels. On step 5, you're going to grab your panel D, your X, and your Z. Z is going to go on your right side as you're facing the cabinet, and X on your left side. And kind of notice placement, the ball catch is up at the top. And essentially you're going to put the cam and the dowels into the holes and seed them. So we have done Z, now we just got to put in these. And on the back here, on panel D, once you get them in, you'll notice the cams. So there are 4 cam bolts, so you need to turn this 180 degrees on 2 on this side and 2 on the opposite side. On step 6, you're going to get your panel G, which is your bottom panel, and you're going to find your T2 casters. They may be in a T1 bag, but these are the casters, the only thing that looks like it. And you're going to find your B1 screws. And each caster takes 4 of these. You pop them in, and using your Allen wrench, you're just going to, essentially just tighten them down. So tighten it down. Once you've got that, lock the casters, because this will help you in another step. So flip this down, and then you're going to flip over panel G. And using on step 7, your C1 cam bolts, you're going to screw in 12 of these. And again, do not go in this hole, which is for your dowel hole later. It's in the metal one. And then you're going to find your O panel, and you'll put that on in the dowels and the cam bolts. And this piece can go on either way. This is the front of the cabinet, so I like with the front of the cabinet that you see just white. If you want to see the cams, you can flip this around. Either way, it can go on, either position. I just prefer it to look like that. In step 8, you're going to seat your bottom panel G onto your X, D, and Z panel. And you can see here, I've got the cam bolt and the dowel. You're just going to line everything up, and using 2 people, set it down. And you're going to need to tighten all of these cams. So there's 8 that need to be exposed. So you're going to turn them 180 degrees, and there are 4 in the interior. And then along the back here, there are another 4. So make sure you do 8 total. On step 9, you're going to get your Y panel, and you're going to seat it to your panel G. Again, setting it over the cams and the dowels. Press down and tighten these 180 degrees tight. And placement here, notice that your rails are on the inside of this. And this will move a little bit until we get the top on. It'll stabilize then, but just make sure you've got on the right-hand side of the cabinet as you face it, you've got the 2 rails. On step 10, you're going to get your platform, your A2, and your lifter, and you're going to use your S1 screws to screw it on into the pre-drilled holes, and there are 4 total, but I want to show you some maintenance stuff here first. So you're going to have to first cut, there is a zip strip here, you need to cut that off, leave the wood block in, absolutely leave it in, you'll take it out in the next step, but it has to be in for it to work. And this is a great time to take your WD-40 for maintenance. You want to spray here and spray your wheels, spray a cloth with WD-40 and wipe the rails on Y and Z down, because it'll help use, with your lifter going up and down, you need the WD-40, particularly when a lift has been sitting in a box, it's dry and just needs some lubrication. So spray everything here. In step 11, you're going to take the A2 platform with the lift that you've just installed and put it inside on the Y panel and the Z panel. And so what you'll notice here is these plastic glides. You want to make sure that the rail is locked into that on both sides. And then you'll pull both of these metal pieces and you'll tuck them behind the little hooks at the top. And all you want to do is press down to that first position. And once you've done that, you want to dislodge that wood block, take that out and throw it out. If for some reason your wood block, came in and it was crooked or was already out, you want to go to our alternative airlift video to watch what you need to do there. But in a normal circumstances, press down and dislodge this for step 11. In step 13, you're also going to add your O1 and O2 panel to the back of your A1 back panel here using your S1 screws. You're going to screw it onto the panel. And kind of notice the orientation here. The metal bracket is here on the inside so that it can hit the magnet here. And you're going to have O1 as you're facing it to the left and O2 as you're facing it to the right here. We are going to do an alternative thing for step 12 and 13. On step 12, you're supposed to take your A panel and attach it onto the body of the unit and tighten down the cams, which you can certainly do, but then step 13 makes you flip the cabinet all the way over to put A1 on. We find it simpler to do it together. So, take your S1 screws and screw A1 and A together. So get the hinges together, and then with 2 people, pick up both pieces. Oops. And you're going to come over and put it onto the full body, lining up your cams and your dowels. And again, you still are going to have to tighten those down. So remember to go back through and tighten those down. On step 14, you're going to put your drawer together. You need your L1, your L2, your L3, and your L4 panels. And essentially, you're going to slide the L4 panels into the groove on the bottoms of your L1, L2, and L3 panel. Using your S3 screws, you'll screw in on the back here on both sides. Notice orientation of the drawer runner, so they're outside on the L2 and L1. Finally, you'll take your front panel, your L panel, and pop the cams into the position, and like you've done all the time, is turn these 180. You've put together your Kangaroo units. I just kind of want to show you your drawer is going to go in by putting the runners on top of one another, just like that, and then you can slide it in. There's some extra pieces that come with this. When it's out, your A3 panel will sit on top of this. So you have extra space just like that. There's also a platform cover right here that goes in this space. And your K panel detaches if you want to use a knee lifter. So that's what that's for there. And now you need to build your Joey.